Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome to the Enough Said podcast. We are in season 5, episode 23. It is Super Bowl Sunday, Eagles, Chiefs. We're out ready to get it on in a couple hours. So we're going to talk, of course, Super Bowl preview today. We're going to talk about, would you rather have lightning in a bottle and get one Super Bowl, or would you rather build a team for right and get shots at multiple Super Bowls? We're going to talk about Kellen Moore, rumors about him leaving. We got MVP controversy and Belichick and his 10-year-old girlfriend. So let's do it. The Enough Said podcast, Super Bowl Sunday. What up, fellas? What up?
Yo, what is up?
What is
now? You can see Mike is cheering us on. Look at that Eagles background.
Yep.
No San fan background. It's an Eagles background.
Yep. Brotherly love. You guys are my brothers. I want y'all.
There we go.
I want to see you guys happy today. This is that one day. I won't ever do this again, but today I'm with you guys. I want to see y'all guys do it. I know the feeling. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope that you guys have success, man.
You must be following what Debo Samuel's doing. So hey, he's got AK Brown jersey on.
Liz can't trade me though.
That's actually a perfect segue into your intro, Mike. You ready?
Always putting their foot.
Sure, go ahead and bring it.
Here we go. All right, here we go. Yeah. Last year's Super Bowl loss hurts. Well, Kelsey's back against his favorite, Aaron Burks. What up, Mike?
What's up?
Don't put him on Kelsey. You warned us.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully he learned.
Right.
Man, he's played better, though. He has played
he's played a lot better than what and then we'll talk about that. That's definitely going to be one of the key matchups to the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, speaking of the guy who looks like he's in London down there, he bleeds green and is one heck of a fan. But outside of Sunday, he's one grumpy old man. What up,
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles! I'm woke now, man. I'm pumped. Let's get it, boy. Let's go. Hey.
Hef coming in with the Chiefs early.
You know what,
Hef?
I'm going to cancel your subscription.
Woo. I think I just lost my hearing, though. So that was
Chiefs. Get out of here.
God, man. Holy smokes. Jermaine is pumped down there in Atlanta, Fog, London, wherever he is. All right, we got that.
How dare you have as a Washington Commanders fan? You need to represent the NFC.
Go back to your Commodores, Hef. Go back to your Commodores.
That's what it is. He's just butt hurt. That's all.
Yeah.
he's butt hurt. It's all good. Hey, Hef, we still love you, bro. We still love you.
Yeah.
We know where your heart is at. We know where your heart is at, Hef. Come on, man.
It's easy like Sunday morning. That's all he's doing. This last guy, he'll be watching the biggest game of the year today. Let's hope that he can see it, or Michelle will take his license away. What up? Okay.
What the hell? I can't see now. Yeah.
That's an inside joke, everybody.
I got it. Look, man, I am pumped. Look, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to direct it to Jermaine. Jermaine, you going to talk about being a realist or whatever, idealist. I don't care about stats. I don't care about whatever. This is the day that we are going to be champions.
Wait a minute.
That's
Wait a
it.
minute. All right, I got you.
No.
I am being real on this because
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
We got to go back a couple episodes, Jay, because there's a few episodes. You know what, guys? Kansas City's going to win this Super Bowl. That's what you said. That's what you said. Yeah, you heard. I got witnesses. Kansas City's going to win this championship.
Well, I guess I'm like,
you can't go back.
Well, hold on. I guess I'm like either Dan Orlowski, or I'm like Mad Dog. We just changed.
Yeah.
On the limb.
Shout out to Hef for recording the Climbback series while watching our show. Damn, that is some dedication.
The Climbback series, no doubt.
All right, I got to say it before it gets lost in tape. And Jermaine, you might want to record this. I can't say anything bad about Howie today.
Yes.
Because I will say this. We talked about it, Jermaine, right? We talked about he had to get it right. And with the last draft, gets the players who got it right. Right? Quinyon Mitchell, man. Cooper DeJean, Howie had to get it right, and I got to give him credit.
But you know what? We talked about this in the beginning of the season, Sal. It wasn't this draft. This draft was just the icing on the cake. It's the bull, it's the dogs that came through, the Jalen Carters, the Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I feel bad for Jacoby Dean because with Jacoby Dean, it would have been – Dre always talk about it 100%. I would have been on board with it. It would have been a 100% win. But you know what? The icing on the cake was Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. You know what I mean? That was the icing on. You got two bona fide rookies in that secondary that were the second youngest team in the league and whatnot. So, come on, man.
The other move that was underrated is Isaiah Rodgers. I think that he was a steal. He was another one. He was in trouble. He came back. Talk about the Kleinback series. This guy came back. He's playing every time Slay gets hurt. That guy has been lights out. He's coming. Now he is a free agent. It'll be interesting to see if Howie can hang on to him. But
there's going to be a lot of. I mean, Zach Bond. You know what I mean? He's going to have a lot. He's going to have to do a lot of thinking, and then hey, that rumor. That rumor, the big MG man might be in the mix. Might be in the mix. I don't know, man. It might be in the mix. Can you imagine him on the other end? Him and Nolan Smith, Myles Garrett. Come on, man.
Oh yeah,
man.
It's just a rumor. It's just a rumor.
I know,
but
man.
I'm fine. I'm fine with what we got right now. But today is the day. Today's the day. This is the most confidence I felt. This is the most confidence I ever felt. You know what I mean? Because I ain't really felt that confidence when we beat the Patriots back in 2017. And they're way better. They're better than the 22 season, the 22 team. So
they
got
depth, man. They got depth.
They got depth. They got a stud at every position almost.
Yeah.
And I think Vic Fangio will definitely be better adjusting too than I think. He's a better defensive coordinator than they had in 2017.
Exactly. Since Jimmy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So man. It's the only thing that bothers me because I heard he's 0-8 against Patrick Mahomes, but I think that's going to change, man. I think
hopefully
he knows what he's got to do. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Mike, let's talk about the biggest matchup. Your friend Oren Burks, 49er, all of a sudden now coming back. Kelsey, part 2 in the Super Bowl. Are the Eagles stupid enough to put him on him, or are they going to try to put somebody like Mitchell and swing him over? I don't know if any wide receivers on the Chiefs really scare me that much. That you need somebody else,
Cooper DeJean, man, that's the only one that can match up well with him. I mean, he plays linebacker, and he can play. If he wanted to, he could play linebacker. So he's got that versatility of linebacker and cornerback. I mean, what do you guys think? That's the only guy I could think that could just match up well with him, man, or at least punch him in his face.
I think the thing with Kelsey and Dre, you've said it. He goes wherever he wants to go. So it's just the unpredictability that you have with him that you have to deal with. And can someone hang with that unpredictability of him finding, the hole in the zone, or if you man up, is he going to beat you in man coverage?
Right.
So that's the thing with Kelsey is just, and if he catches the ball, you limit him so that, it's like, he caught some passes, but they didn't, kill you, like, get a first down or a touchdown or, one of those game-changing kind of plays. You just have to kind of shut him down. I see what you're saying about the other receivers. They don't scare you. But, one thing I will say about the Chiefs is guys play up somehow. Juju Smith all of a sudden becomes a better receiver in the Super Bowl. Xavier Worthy, all these guys that are like mid in the regular season become something different. And I don't know how to explain it. It's just something about, when they play that team, you just see people make plays that they normally don't do any other time.
That's true.
Yeah.
Question for the crew. Who's the unexpected big-time player today who might be outside the norm? I think it's Dallas Goedert. What do you guys think?
Dallas Goedert, Jahan Johnson.
I'll say Dallas Goedert. I agree.
Everybody's keen on Devontae Smith, and everybody's keen on A.J. Brown and all that stuff. And the things is, people have been watching the film. You know, the analysts have been watching the film. Dallas Goedert has been having a great playoff. During this season. And Jahan Dotson, I mean, he said there's been plays because everybody's keying on those two guys and whatnot, and those two guys are always wide open. Yeah. Wide open. So I'm expecting one of those guys to really have a big game outside the box.
Yeah, and for some reason, I also feel that I know they're both 1 and 2 or A and B, whatever, but I think Devontae Smith is going to have a huge game today. I just think he is. I think so.
He might. And Covey's back, Jermaine. It could be Covey.
Covey, baby. I mean, hey, Covey, and we can't forget about the big B and G, man. Coming off the edge. Because what? He gave us the Super Bowl, the 2017. Come on, man. We're the healthiest going into this game most ever, man. And that you got to appreciate that. I'm just mad that we don't have the Kobe Dean. I'm just mad. I'm mad. Yeah, you know.
And it's Brandon Graham. I think he's suiting up.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Brandon Graham is suiting up, man. So that's another piece, man. That could be an X factor.
So
I think the unexpected player for me, honestly, is going to be with the Chiefs. And the only reason I say that is because the Eagles actually have all the talent at all the positions, so nothing's unexpected to me from them because they have great players at every position, whereas the Chiefs don't. I think the guy that watched for them, honestly, is going to be Kalafdis. The edge that's on the defensive line. He stepped up. And, I think the big question is going to be, Jalen Hurts, and if he's in passing situations, do they get to him or not? There is that lingering, he's taking 8 sacks in the preseason kind of thing that you have to say, please don't hold on to the ball. Please don't get gun shy and take sacks, So that's the only concern I kind of see with that. And that's where I think there could be an unexpected surprise is just from the Chiefs side of things that, they everything points to them losing because they're playing a team that is better than them at every spot except maybe quarterback. And yet, there's a sinking feeling in my stomach because of that.
Yeah. I mean, like we talked about throughout the season, like 7 out of 8 games were just pure out of luck, honestly.
Yeah. They're very small up front. Their linebackers are small, Mike. And their offensive line. That's what I'm saying. You got the number 1 offensive line in the league. If they play right, if they play clean football, especially on the offense, just like you said, Jalen don't hold on to the ball. If Jalen don't turn the ball over, because Jalen has not turned the ball over in about how many weeks? You know what I mean? So so it goes right back to that Commanders game. It's a turnover. Who's going to win the turnover matchup and whatnot? And then back in 2022, who won the turnover matchup? It was the Chiefs. And then you can't forget about special teams. You can't forget about special teams when freaking Kadarius Toney ran, and it's just like I wanted to just kill everything in my house. You know what I mean? For him running all the way down. Nobody. It's just like but. I think they got that all under control. They looked at that. They had to look at that 22 Super Bowl team and whatnot. You know what I mean? Just to make some, just to make some adjustments. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. Adjustments as well.
They're getting the special teamer back to the Eagles. I forget who it is, but it's one of their better gunners. I can't remember his name, but they are getting somebody back today too.
For who? For the Chiefs?
For the Eagles. The Eagles. Yeah,
okay.
I can't remember who it is. It's one of their gunners though, and he's supposed to be back today. He was hurt last couple weeks. So
I mean, we've been getting turnovers on special teams. Think about that, man. You know what I mean? The last couple of games. It's like,
it better not come down to Jake Elliott. I'm not comfortable with him, man.
Yeah, that's your weakest.
And I was going to say, man, like, I guess you could say their 11th man, or I guess 4 roster is the referees. I don't want the referees to weigh it in the direction of winning on give the momentum to Kansas City. Because I'm really concerned about that. And I didn't look at who is the umpire in this one. I have to go see which crew it is. But let's just I think you said it last week, Jermaine, or against 2 weeks ago against Washington, that Philadelphia just got to come out and just smash and just stay on top, so you don't have to worry about the referees keeping the game close.
They need slow, methodical drives. You got to keep Mahomes off the field. You got your slow, methodical drives, and the Chiefs have the 20-second run defense. You can run on that. You just got to be consistent. Yeah. And I believe Gainwell is coming back from his concussion today too, so they will have Gainwell back. Shipley's been great.
Gainwell's a huge.
He's a rookie, man. You really want to throw him in
there.
Yeah. Well, they're going to use Gainwell, and obviously,
they're going to change the pace, But what brought you here is what you got to keep doing. All right, so what if they stifle it and whatnot? Please, in times past, they ran the ball and then they're like, well, we give up. Please do not do that.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? Please do not do that. Stick what got you here. Stick with what got you here.
Exactly.
That's it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And you'll be fine. Play that clean game. You'll be fine. And win the turnover battle. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
How long will Dickerson last? That's like the big thing. So
well,
what's his stat? I mean, I know he's playing. What's his knee? What are they saying about his knee, Sal?
He can play. He's going to play, but I don't think he's 100%. So he's going to wear a brace, I believe. So
yeah.
Well, I'm okay because Jurgensen did okay.
Jurgensen's back is better. So, but if Jurgensen goes down, Dickerson's the backup center. So that's what they ran into last week. So it's going to be.
Yeah,
it's going to be tight. So
I put my money on Jurgensen before I put it on Dickerson because at least you have a backup in Steen, Tyler Steen. At least he can back up Dickerson instead of moving Dickerson back over the center. So I'm seeing Jurgensen playing this whole game, and if Dickerson goes out, then you got Steen. So
does Lane Johnson have Jones today?
Mackay, it's between those two.
It's between those two, right?
And Lane Johnson,
Jones
they got to win the battle. Yeah, they got to win the battle against.
They'll move him around.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to. You have to.
Left, right,
or left side.
All around.
He's not sticking to one spot.
No, Jones. No.
Yeah, Jones is going to be all over the place.
He's going to be all over the place, but that's their main weapon. So. It'd be fantastic. We can double team them, just keep them arm's way, especially protect the blind side too of Jalen Hurts. It's coming down to me, man. It's just like, okay, if this happens, it was all about because what the Eagles have done in this past year with getting good coordinators. I'm sorry, I have to say that good coordinators help the coaching. The players were already there last season, but they needed the coaching. That's what they needed, to me. And then of course, like you guys said earlier, the draft was great.
Yeah,
but we pretty much got the same.
Well, last year.
Hello?
What's that?
No, go ahead. I didn't say anything.
Last year.
I mean, I think what we was looking for. I mean, James Bradbury, we still had him. We was weak at the corner.
He's still on the team.
Also weak at the safety.
No, the team definitely improved. It definitely was a somewhat of a reset year. And even in a reset year, there was 10 straight wins before it went downhill at the end. They were not really good wins, but they were wins. So the team had depth and had some strength. It was just a couple weak spots that had to be improved, and then the coordinators for sure. Which I think is really what Howie did the best out of this year, out of all the great picks and everything. I mean, come on, he picked those coordinators. Nick picked those. He didn't make the phone calls. Howie made the phone calls. Said you need to get up here, and made it happen.
So let me ask you something. Back to Nick Sirianni. What do you guys think? I mean, everybody's giving him props, saying that he's a great coach. He's a great coach. This, that, and the other. I'm just not saying him because just like what Dre said with these coordinators, it's the coordinators that really set the tone for this season. I mean, what is Nick actually doing? Because I know we actually talked about him being a puppet and this, that, and the other. I mean, I like Nick and the players like Nick. I just don't see him. They're like Nick's a great coach and this, that, and the other. I mean, what do you guys think?
He's giving Big Dom hugs. That's what he's doing.
I look at it as this, Jermaine. With project managers, what they do, their job is to actually plan well, stay on schedule, and keep the team in morale together and constantly consistency is what word I'm looking for. What project managers always want to look at. And I think
So
Nick has that. I'm saying he has that.
Right.
Because that's what his experience was anyway when he was with the Colts. And before that, he was a personnel consultant, whatever I forgot, offensive, whatever he was called. He
so
never
saying
had
Bill
the X and O's.
Belichick and so you saying all these great
so.
Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, so you're saying that these greats, Andy Reid's and all this, they're project managers. That's what you're saying.
No, Andy Reid, Belichick. I'll even go to Dan Quinn.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Because they know how to coach. Like they know how come into the office. All right, Vic, let's look at this and look at that. I got experience. I know how to do the defense. All right, Kellen, let's look at this and everything. People might hate me about to say, but I don't see that from Nick Sirianni. I don't.
That's what I'm saying.
He's pacing back and forth from the field, not saying a goddamn thing.
Because the only thing he's good for is 4th and 1. What are we doing? It's a no-brainer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We can call that play.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, nothing to down Nick, but somebody just give me an understanding because, you're right, Dre. He's a project manager. So he's not compared to the other ones that can coach. But they're putting him not on top of Mount Rushmore, but they're close to him because if he wins it, they're gonna say, "Yeah, Nick Sirianni's a great coach." I just don't have the understanding.
Yeah, it comes down to the numbers, Jermaine. On paper, this is how many more wins he has versus losses. That's what it is.
Well, then he needs to thank everybody under him. You know what I mean? Because
Well, I think that's the answer is that, he has people that he doesn't have to sit and babysit and look over. I mean, honestly, you have Kellen Moore, you have Vic Fangio, you have these guys, all this coaching that, they can kind of run themselves.
But does that make him a great coach? Does that make him a great coach? Does it?
I don't know if it makes him a great coach. I mean, I think, you still got to be able to keep the band together because, what I thought could have happened at the season is a mutiny, where guys who know they can do better than him will want to take over the job. But, he's been able to kind of keep all that, kind of level that's like, no, I'm in charge, but, he doesn't have to sit there and try to rub it in anybody's face either.
Right.
So, I mean, I think, you know what they say is whoever works for your organization works, and if that's what works for the Eagles, that he's the guy and, that he kind of sets the tone and that's how he manages things and it works until it doesn't.
Doesn't work for Shanahan. Yeah. No.
I mean, honestly, seeing what happened with my team, with Shanahan, especially with the defensive coordinator stuff and the back and forth that he went through, with Steve Wilkes, who was in the Super Bowl and actually called a good game, and yet he fired him, brought in some guy that never did the job before, and then the defense regressed even more. And he's lucky to get Saleh back, but that's you have to, some guys got total control. Some guys just manage, personalities, and that's what they do best.
And Jermaine, I remember when Warren Sapp said it when Tony Dungy left Tampa Bay, and then Gruden came in. Warren Sapp analogy was the kitchen was a mess when Tony Dungy was coaching. That was his opinion, and he said when Gruden came in, the kitchen got cleaned up, and everything was on. The fire was burning nicely, and we weren't burning any food, nothing like that. So. Seemed like Gruden was more of a better management Tony Dungy. But Tony Dungy was a better coach, honestly, in my opinion.
So, speaking of coaches and coordinators, guys, there's rumors about Kellen Moore going to the Saints.
Boo.
I mean, all right, whatever. But I know it's more money, the prestige and all that. But what are you going to get in New Orleans? That's a mess down there. That team... I don't know. I don't see it happening. I think if it was going to happen, I think he would have at least been down there sooner for more interviews. I just don't see him really doing it.
He has been down here. I mean, he has been down here in New Orleans. It's all but a done deal.
I think
because after the Super Bowl, that Monday or Tuesday, they're going to announce him. They're going to announce him.
Absolutely.
Because the only thing they're doing is no distractions and all that stuff, just like we had with Gannon and all that stuff and that nonsense. He wouldn't give him on the freaking plane to come back after the Super Bowl loss. He went right straight to Arizona. I don't think Kellen's going to do that, but it's all but done, man, because he did 2 more interviews with New Orleans. But yeah, you're right, man. It's a mess. I don't know what you're running into something that you might as well just stay where you at and wait for a better opportunity.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But, I mean, head coaching jobs never are better opportunities. I mean, they all stink because if they're looking for a coach, it means they suck. Unless someone like retires or passes away or something like that, it's always going to be that the opening is because they fired somebody. So they all stink. All those jobs are probably, it's different levels of stink, but they all stink. I mean, Kellen got passed over in Dallas. And, I think he thought that was his job to have. And now this is a chance to get what he wants. And so I see him doing it. Really, the only problem for him is so late that building your staff is the challenge, unless he's already got people that he's called and said, hey, look, I'm taking this job. Just don't say nothing. But when I get it, then I'm going to announce you're going to be my defensive coordinator. He's already got to be planning ahead. Because if he's like the guy in Jacksonville who gets the job and then starts calling people and they're like, man, I want to work for you and you're struggling, it's a wrap.
Well, he might be cherry picking from the Eagles, kind of, coaches a little bit. So.
That was my other point when I was sending the text message. I was like, the problem with brain drain is not that you just don't lose your coordinators, is who else does they take with them. Ben Johnson did it to Detroit. He ain't just take him, but he took, what's it called? Antoine Randall L, the receivers coach, made him an assistant coach. So now they've lost all kind of depth in their coaching staff.
Well, he better not take Jeff Stoutland with him, that offensive line
coordinator. That's not
happening. I think I don't think he'll ever leave.
Yeah, that guy's unbelievable.
Kudos to coaches getting their career and opportunity and stuff. But what are Eagles are going to do when he's gone? Who's going to be the best replacement? Because I'm going to use as Detroit. Detroit lost both of them, right? Aaron Glenn went to Jets. Ben went to I forgot what Ben went to.
Well, Chip Kelly's off the board.
Chicago.
He went to Chicago, right? For me, I feel that Detroit is not going to be the same team next year. I don't even see that. I see them winning 10 games. I do see that. I mean, they got that, but besides that, I don't see anything past that. And in Philadelphia, we win today. He leaves. What happens next year?
Well, Chip Kelly's off the books. You got Doug Peterson.
Okay. Right.
Waste of funds. You know what? I mean, like I was telling you, Drake, the other day. I mean, right now, but I didn't even think about what Mike was saying because, if Kelly gets that, he can go and get, anything, go and get those wide receiver coach or anybody, what I mean, and start picking. Mm-hmm. But right now, we're losing one. Last year we lost two. Detroit's in a bad position, just like we were last year. We lost a defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator. Right now, you're just losing one. Vic said he don't want nothing to do with head coaching anymore. You know what I mean? I'm done. This is where I'm going to go. This is it.
He's cruising.
So at least you got your defense intact, the second youngest team in there. So you can run with your defense. Offense, I mean, you just got to be smart about it. That's all. You got to be smart. I mean, I'm not really concerned unless you bring back, Desai or somebody else of that nature or whatever. But I'm not really concerned until what you see, what's going to happen to, in the off season. So,
we'll find out, man. It's going to be close. So, the things we go ahead, Mike. Sorry, I was going to.
Oh no, I was just going to say, it definitely is a challenge to lose, good coaches, and my team has seen it. Detroit's seen it. Your team has seen it, especially with losing two coordinators, at once. And that's where the challenge becomes the promoting from within, and then that's what Detroit has done. That's what San Fran tried to do. That's what honestly Nick tried to do with Desai and Brian Johnson. You're probably going to have to promote from within again because there really is no one left now. If Kellen leaves, there is no coordinators hanging around there that are offensive coordinators that you can just be like, oh, we'll bring you in and keep this thing going. You're going to have to, I guess, the quarterback's coach or some coach that's there already is probably going to get the job.
So, other things that we want to talk about today, kind of on a related note. Let's talk about, what are the coaching hires here? Well, since we're talking about coaches, let's go to Belichick and his girlfriend real quick, just to kind of break it up, and then we'll get to some of the other things. Let's talk about this guy. He's 73, dating a 24-year-old, 25-year-old, something like that. And so, you jealous, Jermaine?
No, but what is Bill's favorite color now? What's his favorite color?
Blue.
Favorite color?
That's Carolina blue now, right?
It's
Carolina blue.
No, not Carolina blue. The blue pill.
Man.
The blue pill.
I think that's like
V. Big V.
Yeah,
So,
Mm.
I'm not mad at him. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, but she's smart about it. So hey, to each his own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, I mean, I can't be mad at him.
Yeah,
So,
if you can get it, I guess.
Yeah.
Go get it.
Got me.
You know what I mean?
I never saw what she looked like, and then I saw her take her to the award show, and I was like, "Oh, okay, she's a pretty attractive lady." And then she was up there wearing this Super Bowl ring, and I was just kind of like,
Man.
"What?" I was like, "Get out of here!" It's like my first thought was like, "Hey, all right, Bill, go for it."
But they've been together for a while, right?
Right?
Yeah,
I think so. Like I said, my first thought was like, "Dang, Bill, you the man," and my second thought was like, "Damn, I wonder what her father thinks."
Yeah, the father. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, right. I mean,
it's like me being a father. I'm just kind of like, boy,
you going to Thanksgiving? You going to Thanksgiving dinner? You know what I mean?
Look at that hand, man.
Bill Belichick.
You got to set the table with a coloring book. I mean, come on.
Look at that hand, man. The right hand's got all 5 rings.
I think he still got it. Forget the blue pill.
It looks like his hand that's lower down on her ass got a ring there.
He about to go get it right now behind the green tree. That's what he about to go get it. Hey, come on, baby. Let me show you what's so real fast.
He's smiling, grinning.
Oh my God.
He feels rejuvenated. He feels like he's about 35, 40 years old.
Right.
Yeah, why not, man? He better have a prenup. That's all I'm gonna say. He better have a
big man on campus, right? Big man on campus.
Yeah. I'm not mad at him.
Bobby said, "Hey, Brady."
Yeah.
Out, Brady.
Right.
Yeah.
Does she know CPR? Clear.
Clear.
Clear. After they clear. Bill. Bill.
Yeah. Speaking of MVP, besides her, let's talk about Josh Allen and let's talk about Josh Allen and your favorite quarterback, Jermaine. Dre, you know who I'm going to say down there.
Yeah, I know, but I just got this
Lamar,
picture.
you know you love him.
I just got this picture in my head of if Belichick dies, he got that grin on his face.
Oh man,
what
happened?
What happened, Mike?
What happened, Mike?
Oh, he got technical problems.
Oh, he got his headphones cut off. Let's see if he can hear us. But man, well, let's talk about
Lamar. Listen, man.
Lamar.
Look, I told you guys, I like Lamar. I mean, Lamar did his thing. I mean, he's doing his thing, but he didn't do the thing, which he didn't win. I mean, that's what it comes down.
Whose fault was that?
His fault.
No, how was it his fault when the man dropped the pass in the end zone? I mean, come on.
2 turnovers before that, the fumble and interception.
But it comes down to the last play. What happened at the last play, Dre?
It doesn't. It comes down to the last play, but what it calls an effect, Jermaine. It wouldn't even have to come down to that play if he never turned the ball over.
You got to make that play, man, in that end zone. Now, if he didn't make that play in the end zone, would you be talking about the 2 turnovers, Dre? Because they would have been in the AFC.
No, nobody would. But
that's what I'm saying. There's a call. Yeah.
But to me, it's not the last play, in my opinion. But he's 3-5 in the playoffs, guys. He's following daggone Kirk Cousins' record. All right, Lamar is.
He's comparing Lamar to Kirk Cousins.
No, I'm just talking about the playoff. I'm not the playability. I'm talking about how he can't win. He can't get the team to the AFC Championship. And then a lot of people that I talked to that were Ravens fans, they split. They said it was John Harbaugh might be on the hot seat, or what we're gonna do with Lamar, because Lamar doesn't see we could do something in the next 2 years or so.
Well, let me bring this up then. Is Josh Allen in the same boat? Because he hasn't beaten Mahomes either and gotten to it.
I don't care about beating Mahomes. It came down to what Josh Allen, the voting it came down to really like that close that Josh Allen won. And I think he won because he won. It's all about winning.
Maybe. Well, he didn't win against Mahomes.
He didn't win against Mahomes.
Yeah.
He didn't win against Mahomes, but
who beat Kansas City this year? I thought Buffalo was a team that beat them.
And during the regular season, Buffalo did beat them.
Yeah. But I don't think that's what I mean. For me, I just watched from what I was able to see of both guys playing this year. I just felt like Josh just played better. Like it was just, not just the stats and stuff. Some of it was just the way the balls got thrown, the windows they had to get thrown into. Sometimes it was just making the smart play. Some it was just decision making. It was just a lot of those little things to me that I saw that I thought put him just a little bit above, Lamar. Lamar had a great year, but I just thought Josh just found a way, to some degree, do more with less. I had lower expectations and still kind of exceeded expectations.
Yeah.
I felt like he matured a lot, but I can see the controversy because people were like voted for Lamar to be on the first team All Pro, and then the same people turn around and vote for Josh to be the MVP. And like, well, what's the difference between the two awards? That usually doesn't happen where one is, on one and the other. It usually they're together.
I'm so tired of the MVP of the year because Saquon should have got that. I'm sorry. It's a bunch of BS because how far could we go back? And when was the last time a non-quarterback won the MVP?
It's been a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, it's
a bunch of
BS,
BS, man. It's a bunch.
Well,
you got to throw the ball, and then that's how you get the MVP. Look, Saquon redefined the running back position. Him and Derrick Henry redefined the running back position.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I mean, Chris McCaffrey had the same kind of year, 2 years ago, and he didn't get it.
And that's what I'm saying. I know, right?
And I was like,
I totally agree.
I
totally agree. It's a bunch of BS. It's a bunch of BS with this. Come on, man. If you're not a quarterback, you're not getting an MVP.
Yeah,
I mean, these people are setting the stand. I mean, come on, man.
It's a QB's award now.
Yeah, it is.
It's a passing league for the last 15 years.
It is, but what did Saquon do? He redefined the running back position because the running back value was going down until Henry. Henry was another one. Who else? Josh Jacobs. I mean, come on. These guys, man, had pumped a lot of stuff into the value. I'm not just saying it's just Saquon. Josh Jacobs. Who else was out there?
Robinson.
Was running strong.
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, Bijan. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Bijan had a good year.
Yeah. It's just
Cook from Buffalo. He was good.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Cook's brother.
Well, I think what you're saying especially with the running backs, is the running backs are settling down a lot of the quarterbacks, except for maybe Mahomes. He's probably the only person I can think of that don't have a solid running game. James Cook really did settle down Josh Allen, so that Josh Allen could make more efficient throws, make better decisions. Really, he didn't get erratic until the beginning of the Baltimore game where you started seeing old Josh come back. Saquon has definitely settled down Jalen. I mean, Jalen, just as long as he don't take sacks, he don't make bad throws and stuff like that. It's an MVP is a preview award. It's just become that. I still think that you should take in consideration what happens in the offseason. If we're not offseason, but in the postseason. Because I'm just tired of this this guy was the best player in the regular season, but they don't do nothing in the postseason. If we're gonna call it a QB award and stuff, then we should, I think that should have some weight, into it. I mean, I just think that Lamar in the playoff game, like you said, Trey, he hasn't really, taken that next step, and yet we're going to give him the MVP. I'm like, I don't know, man. I mean, I think that should weigh into it.
Yeah, man. Well, it's going to be the thing is these guys every year. You're right. It is constantly quarterback position. Saquon, not only can he block, he can run, he can catch the pass, he can do all of those things. There were times where he picked up the blitz this year, and he picked up some guys coming in.
I remember that play. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, these guys are.
Why don't you call it, Mike? Just like what you said. I think you saying something. I didn't know if you actually said it, but you made a point to where forget about the MVP. Make it a quarterback MVP. Make it a running back MVP. Make it a wide receiver MVP. You know what I mean? So everybody can get their respect. Instead of just making it more important. And just giving it to a quarterback. I'd rather break it down in every position on the offensive side and even on the defensive side. Okay, you make the defensive play. Oh, they do make it. Yeah, they do make it defensive.
They have an offensive defense. I think the thing with the MVP is that honestly, MVP even by money value. I mean, every team puts the most money into their quarterback. So I think there's a value also. I guess they're also going to get that award just because they're the most expensive player almost every team.
And they steer the ship.
But...
Yeah. And they steer the ship. We know that,
Yeah.
Well, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I agree. Maybe a little bit later in the season, Mike, like you said, after we see what happens in the postseason, might not be a bad thing.
Especially for that award. I just feel like there should be more to it. We've seen enough MVPs. I mean, I look at Lamar and I was like, well, hell, if he did get the third time MVP, I'm like, I don't know if that's even something I want on my resume anymore. I'm a 3-time MVP and I haven't won jack.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers had that. I'm back-to-back MVP, and yet both playoffs, both years, they got bounced out the playoff early, and he had a bad game in both games. It's like,
keeping on the same topic, guys, before we get into our prediction, kind of speaking of MVPs and building a team, do you think it's better to build lightning in a bottle, meaning have like one Super Bowl and then you're done? Or is it better to build a team right, build it slow through the draft, get a couple of 5 or 6 years and take a run at it? Just going to open that up. What do you guys think about? I mean, Eagles, obviously, just like to your point, everybody, like it was a couple years in progress. This didn't just happen overnight,
Right. Yeah.
But people always say the Eagles with Nick Foles, that was lightning in a bottle. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think it was a lightning in a bottle. It was just Nick's time. I mean, you was just destined to win. I mean, that was just Nick's time. It was Nick's game, the whole thing and everything. So yeah, I look, I tell Dre all the time, and if anybody's going to be listening down there, I still feel as though, it's a Super Bowl, but I just feel as though it's a fraud. How the hell do you give up over 500 yards of total defense? You know what I mean? And not and it came down to that last play. So yeah, we got a Super Bowl and whatnot, but I feel as though it was a fraud. But yeah, it was definitely lightning in the bottle. I mean, when Carson Wentz went down south, everybody, we all over here thought, hey, we're done.
Yep.
We're done.
Yep.
So but Nick came to the rescue, and he's in front of the link, right? With the Philly Suns. Yeah.
He is, and
next to Rocky,
and he's got a commercial.
They slide Rocky over.
It's like move it over. Get out of the way.
Yeah.
But you'll see, there's a commercial with Foles and and Tom Brady today. He's gonna be like, "Yeah, I caught it, you didn't." Like, and I'm jealous. You'll see it during the Super Bowl. I think I shared a commercial to you guys.
Right. Okay.
They got that going.
I think that example probably answers the question. That was lightning in a bottle going against a team that had sustained success winning multiple Super Bowls versus the one year that the one team got lucky against them. And I think most people would be, I'd rather have what the Patriots had, in a dynasty than to have, one ring and then have to wait, 5, 6, 10, 20 years to get another one. I like this. I like taking the multiple chances because you just got more of a chance that you will get multiple wins. I mean, Kansas City is in that mode right now.
Heather says Sal knows sports, just saying. She might be a little biased though, but that's all right. My sister. Dre, lightning in a bottle or build it right?
I don't know. What I'm saying is because I'm actually thinking about, remember when the Falcons played New England, right? Falcons had a great season that year, right? And then the Falcons, they lost 28 points, to Tom Brady, one of the best comebacks ever in history. But with Atlanta, that was a lightning bottle year to me because they had all the right pieces, right. And then the quarterback, which was
Matty Ice.
Matty Ice. Yeah,
okay.
Matty Ice. Yeah. And I thought Dan Quinn was actually
he was the defensive coordinator.
He was defensive coordinator.
I think he was D coordinator.
I know he was on the
head coach.
He was the head coach. That's right.
Yeah, because Kyle didn't call the Diego run plays, and that's why he lost.
right.
Still ain't learned that lesson.
But to me, I think the way it's going is lightning in the bottle because these franchises, team owners, want to have the win now. They don't want to wait 4 or 5 years to build it. That's what I'm seeing. Because I'm going to relate to get that offensive coordinator because they finally, look like they did. Get that offensive coordinator because they're 15-0. Like they want the win now in this era. That's what I think. They don't want to wait and build 4 or 5 years and then finally start showing that they're a dominant team. So I'm looking at it that way.
Unless you're Dallas and you just can't build it at all, then that's
you got a GM.
You got a
GM
owner. You got a damn
who's the
owner.
owner.
Want to be in it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that feeling.
No
It's like that feeling that I was saying, last year. I was like, you got to win. If you get there, you got to win it because, you might not get back and so much things happen. And then it's also just a different feeling when you do win because once you win, then you're just kind of like, oh, we are going back. We're going to do this over and over and over again as many times. And that's the mode that Casey's in now. They're just kind of like, oh, this is easy. We're going to get here and we're going to get another one. So it's like once you've built the team to get it, and you win that one, then you're going to be like, I want more,
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
look at Kansas City, right? Kansas City, Andy Reid, that first year Andy Reid was there, he lost to the Colts, right? In that playoff game, right?
Right.
That was before Patrick Mahomes came, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not mistaken. Then Andy Reid did draft Patrick Mahomes, right?
And that was it.
He was always good with quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Westbrook was a running back for Philly. But anyway, where I'm going with this is that's a point where you get a good quarterback and then everything starts building upon him. And then they're starting to become a good team, which took over 3, 4, 5 years. Then you look at, to me, I'm looking at Washington. Washington got their quarterback. Washington got their coach. Washington looks like they're on the verge of being more than just wait 3, 5 years. They're going to be somewhere now, which they proved already in NFC Championship, and then going next year, where I see no limits. Where Philadelphia is going to have to play them hard to keep them arm's way to stay on top of the division. So it's kind of I'm kind of saying I'm on the fence with both sides, but I think majority of it is that teams want to win now. So it's more that I want to win now, lightning bottle kind of situation.
Yeah, and I think with the Eagles in this case, it's going to be tougher for Howie to take these risks because next year their salary cap is getting much tighter because these guys are starting to go up. Hurts' contract goes up a little more. Next year is going to be a little more challenging. He's going to have to find some ways to get more and more creative. So that's another part of it too. Like you have to have the right GM that can manage money, that can really over a couple years sustain that to sign these players and take some risks. And Howie took risks. Some of them we know did not pan out. I mean, come on, we can go down the names, but he did the last 2 years. He was able to backload Hurts' contract and spread it out a little bit so he could sign people like Saquon and that. Well, now those contracts are starting to come to roost. So it's going to get a little bit tougher and it's going to get, it's hard to maintain that. So you almost have to does the salary cap justify you have to be more lightning in a bottle? Maybe. I guess that's where I'm going with this.
Yeah. That's why you got to win today. That's why you gotta win today. Right, you gotta win today. That'd be 2 Super Bowls in what?
2 years, right?
Yeah, 2 years.
I was just gonna say this. That the thing that Kansas City has got going, the thing that I think New England had a lot of was consistency in coaching, and if not coaches, then at least in philosophy of things. How many times was Josh McDaniels brought back to be the offensive coordinator of the Patriots? And every time he was there, everything worked, Or Andy Reid, who seems to be just very consistent. Steve Spagnuolo, who's like, I'm not going anywhere, And so that defense has gotten a chance to get better and better and better. He's been there 3 years now, and he's had 3 years to fine tune, bring in even young players and get them up to speed quickly. So it's like with that sustained success, a lot of it is just by having just sustainability within the building. And that's something a lot of teams have struggled with, but these dynasties tend to have something in common, and that's the head coach is around, the quarterback is around, and usually there's some more coordinators and other guys that they're always there.
So what would this be? Jalen's 5th coordinator in 6 years, or is it 6 and 5 years? Whatever it is, it's something.
You want to count the whole 11 years that he's been in? He had a different coordinator in 11 years. Different coordinator. Yeah. I think it is about 5. Yeah, I think it's about 5. This is his 5th since he's been in the NFL.
What was it? Frank Wright under Dougie P. And then who was after that?
Oh God,
Steichen, 2 years.
Steichen.
Yeah. Steichen was 2 years, right?
I think so. He was 2. Yeah.
It was 2 years, and of course you got Brian Johnson, and then you got Kellen Moore, and then you got somebody next. Yeah, like 5 coordinators.
You got it. That's why I say, I was always, we always argue. I know me and Dre argued at one point, with and all that stuff, but Jesus Christ, this man, I mean, can you imagine? You know what I mean? Like you got a coordinator, or just like we always talk about project managers.
Yeah.
If I had a project manager every year and all that stuff, whatever hair I have, I gotta pull it out. Now you gotta adjust. You gotta adjust. You know what I mean? You have to adjust. Now you gotta adjust again. Now you gotta adjust again. I mean, hats off to him. I mean, this man's been in the Super Bowl 2 out of the last 3 years. I mean, you gotta give you gotta give him to him, and then if he wins it today, I mean, what do you say for his what do you say for his career? I mean, he's got a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying, Sal?
I'm with you, Jermaine, except that Saquon covered a lot of sins for him this year. There would have been a couple games.
You're right. And they knew that.
Yeah.
They knew that. Yeah, they knew that. Right. They were smart. Howie and all of them were smart to say, go get Saquon. That's what you need. You know what I mean? Yes, Lamar didn't make it into the playoffs and all that stuff, but it calmed down Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson wasn't on Lamar Jackson. It was when they brought Derrick Henry in, it calmed him down. Just like what Mike was saying. James Cook calmed down Josh Allen. You know what I'm saying? So it's
but wow, you know what, man? And to on your point, Jermaine, on your favor, I agree with you, because look at Tom Brady's career. He always had a good running back. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Tom Brady always had a good running back career, so it wasn't always on Tom Brady's arm. You know what I mean? Like you have to have a complimentary back at the same time. Of course, a good quarterback.
What do you have, Blount? Blount was okay, but he wasn't
But they were
serviceable.
They were serviceable. Good adjective.
Right.
Yeah. Oh boy. Bringing that back.
Inside joke.
Shout out to Lance saying the only hair Jermaine's got is on his beard. I like that.
Thanks, Lance. Yeah, appreciate it.
But Jermaine, answer your question. Jalen is looking pretty good. I say that's helping. It's looking good for have a Super Bowl on your resume. It looks pretty damn good to me.
Yeah. Ultimately, it's still a team sport. I mean, the one guy can't do it all. You got to have some balance somewhere. I mean, you still have star players. I think a good quarterback usually tends to have a good tight end. I mean, Brady had a great tight end.
Yo, definitely.
I mean, of course, Mahomes has got Kelsey, great tight end. Goddard could be, Jalen's guy today. But, there's just certain pieces that, when you have them in there, it just makes the offense click. And the offensive line, I mean, heck, none of it's work if you don't have an offensive line. So,
that's it.
I'm getting sick and tired of Kelsey, man. I'm just, everybody's saying he's a great tight end. I mean, what do you guys think? The man, I don't see him really doing. I don't know. I'm putting him up there as far as me hating the most hated people I like in the NFL.
Emmett.
Brett Favre, Emmett. You know what I mean? And come on, Travis. And I'm paying attention to Travis. Travis Kelce, he's wide open. That's all. I mean, he's not making. He made a few good catches. He has made a few good catches in his career. But any other time, this man is wide open. Anytime he comes off the line, he's just wide open. Nobody's not bumping him or anything, man. Come on. And we're giving this man Travis Kelce's the all-time great. I'm like, come on, man.
He gets wide open though. But
nobody's not on him. Mike. Nobody's not on him.
It was talked about.
It's like a boxer throwing punches and not getting hit. It's kind of like no one's hitting him. It's like because he's just evading everything.
I believe it was WKIP, and they brought it up and they said Travis can't run routes. Whatever.
The radio station.
Yeah, the radio station. Yeah.
Okay. You mean WIP. No, I remember WKRP.
Whatever,
Remember that radio
Cincinnati
station?
radio, whatever.
That was a TV show.
I'm old now, whatever. But they said that he doesn't run routes, but he stays.
Yeah, exactly.
But he does open. He's open space. He's always open. I mentioned this a long time ago. Even Travis said it himself. He don't run the plays. Until one time, Andy told him to do it. He didn't, and they lost or something. And Andy Reid chewed him out. So he's the type of guy where he goes to his spots where Patrick knows where he's at.
Then somebody go with him. I don't understand.
That's the problem, man. If you're in cover 3 or cover 2, if you're playing zone, you're just gonna stay in your zone, and there goes Travis. Like,
they got to play man. Put Cooper on him, man.
When he comes through that middle, he comes off that line, and somebody needs to punch him in the mouth. Honestly, what? Just punch him in the mouth, and then he won't go through there again. Honestly, I just don't get it.
But that's also, but that's that chemistry that him and Mahomes have. Gronk, and Brady probably had something similar to that, where you just start playing. You just know the guy's tendencies, and he's like, Pat, I see. I can just I'll be open. Don't worry about it. I'll figure out a way. And he's like, all right, I'll look for you. And then he just gets open.
And you know who did that, Jermaine? Who's a first-time Hall of Fame ballot? Is Gates. With Phillip Rivers Gates.
Yeah, but
Antonio Gates was always open. He was always open.
Gates used to get clobbered when he comes in the middle. You don't remember that?
Yeah.
Gates used to get clobbered.
I guess the defensive stopped the linebackers from killing him, I guess. I don't know.
But he wasn't open all the time. He was just a big guy with his big ass and whatnot. He just put him here you go, and box out. He was a basketball player too, Dre.
Right, he was a basketball
player. He'll box out and whatnot.
Late bloomer like I was. I was late bloomer in basketball.
Throw the ball up high.
Exactly.
Phillip Rivers was like, Phillip Rivers' hand was like this.
Speaking about punching him in the mouth, if Mahomes start his fake slide today, do you hit him? Do you just hit him and take the 15
You got to hit him, man. You got to hit him.
You got to call it the NFL flop.
Yeah,
like the NBA flop. I'm sick of it.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, you start being pretty, you start being cute. I can't, you know what I mean? Nobody's not gonna hit me. And all of a sudden you get clobbered. Okay,
right.
You get up and now you just wobbling. Good. That's what you get. That's what you get. Clobber him. All right,
I want to see that blue tint go up.
Yeah, you know how
the whole world is watching.
Right. Yeah, you know what I mean? Go ahead.
Start fake going out of bounds, run another 5 yards.
You just doing that little
People in Australia are like, he's flopping, mate.
That's all right. Keep it up. Because when your arms flop and then your arm goes down the wrong way, you try to catch yourself and whatnot, and you dislocate your shoulder. Good.
Yeah. And then we see Carson Wentz.
Yeah. Carson Wentz wins the game.
Wow.
Oh my God, I'd be sick.
I guarantee you, right?
They would burn down the city.
I guarantee you, man.
He's the MVP, Mike. Mike is the MVP.
Carson Wentz comes in and beats him.
Oh my God.
Man.
Can you believe that, man?
You know how they have the coaches meeting, the refs meeting, like right before all Super Bowl preparation. Mahomes probably sitting there with an envelope and gives to the referees. Here's my memo. Just check.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh my goodness, man. Yeah.
This is not come down to that. That's all I gotta say. If I see a badass call and that's gonna win the game,
turn TV.
I'm gonna feel the thunder all the way down in Atlanta. That's what I'm saying.
I will see a red haze across the bridge there. So,
Mike, I will say. I will say, Mike, I wore your Bradbury shirt yesterday. I will say that. So he's not on the field for a bad call today, but he is still on the team, guys. He's
special teams, right? He's special teams, right?
I think he's on injury reserve. I don't think they activate him.
You know, if you lose, it's going to be on CJ. You know.
And you know what? I'm so proud of CJ because I was just like, please do not run your mouth. Please do not give him bulletin board stuff. Please, you know what I'm saying? So. I'm proud of him. He didn't run his mouth. I hope he's locked in. They all look like they're locked in, but I hope he's one of them that's locked in. You know?
Yeah, we'll see. Well, let's get into predictions real quick. We'll get into some predictions. I don't think anybody is. I don't know. Is anybody on Kansas City or think Kansas City is going to win?
Dre is. Dre's been saying that. Yeah.
Oh, he's calling you out, Trey.
So, let me back that up. I didn't see the Eagles going to the Super Bowl, Jermaine. Be honest with you, I didn't see them go this far.
Yeah.
Now my team's there, of course.
From a betting perspective, I have the Chiefs. Look, let's be honest. You know, every heavyweight fight you ever seen, you know, until someone is beating the champ. You have to pick the champ. Yeah, I gotta see it to believe it. And so, look, I want the Eagles to win. You know, I think the Eagles can win. I'm picking the Eagles to win. But I mean, if I had to be a realist about it, it's like, you know, I wouldn't tell someone putting money in this game to put money on the Eagles. You know, the Chiefs, they've done this before. And every time they look like, oh, this is the chance that someone's bigger, stronger, faster to knock them the hell out. I don't know. They win. It's mind blowing, but they win. And so I got to see it to believe it.
1.5 point favorites.
It never moved. Ever since the line came out, Sal, it never moved.
Never moved.
Oh, yeah.
Never moved. Wow.
I will say this, and y'all can say your thing. I was looking at the last time we played them, we lost by 3, right? And that penalty call for the holding was a ticky-tack foul in my opinion, which made the seal a deal. What I'm saying is that team that was together is not as good as this team this year. Of course, we know that, and I'm predicting that Philadelphia should win more than 7 points. I think.
Well, and Lance, I had you, man. I was with you with Jermaine's hair, but now I'm like, I don't know. It just changed talking about KC winning. He doesn't like it, but I don't know.
Lance don't even know. Lance, just go back to bed, man.
Well, if you guys want even more of a laugh, check out our next week's show coming up because we're going to go over our predictions from the beginning of the season. I don't think any of us had this crap right, man. It was. Woo! It was bad.
KD actually did. Okay. A lot of things. Yeah.
Oh, really?
And I will say this. I think KD might be right about the game today. That if the Eagles win, it will be by a lot.
Wow.
I think if KC wins, it's close. The Eagles win. Things got ugly.
I was talking to Jermaine. I think it's going to be a high. I think the Eagles going to win.
You know what? I got to respect Dre because Dre's been on point the last couple weeks. You know what I mean? He was confident in Washington.
That is true.
He had no problem with Washington. You know what I mean? He said, we don't have no problem. So whatever Dre says, you know what I mean?
I was going to say, he picked Arizona to beat my team.
I picked Arizona to beat San Francisco.
He's saying 7. You know what I mean? All right. I just got to roll with it.
Come on.
I got to roll with it. I do feel confident. I do feel confident with this, like you said, Mike, Eagles are good on paper, but then to be the champ, you got to beat the champ. You know what I mean? You got to beat the champ.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to slay the dragon, not from the foot. All right, because that's where the refs are at. Not from the foot. You got to slay them from the neck, from here to here.
Yeah,
indisputable evidence, right?
Yeah. Mike lost all credibility.
Let the blood shed all over the field.
Mike lost all credibility when he picked the Bucks to be the most dangerous team. So I don't listen to him. So I listen to Dre.
Dre's been on point. Dre's been on point. Now, if I call you and start cussing you out, man, you know what I mean. You know what it's about.
My phone be turned off. So.
KC by 12 now, Lance.
KC by 12.
Yeah.
That's confidence thinking there, Lance.
Let's wrap it up, guys. It has been an awesome season, but we're not done yet. Like next week will be a great show. We'll be up throughout the off season talking about different things, free agency, obviously the draft, all that. It won't be a 7-second draft like we had before. It'll actually be the NFL draft. So we'll have a show probably around that, I'm sure. Although this year, I don't know, guys, I'm still like on the fence because not a lot of interesting things going on in the draft this year. It's more offensive and defensive linemen. Those skill positions this year are a little weak, but we'll talk about that when it gets a little closer to the draft. So I don't know if it's going to be that exciting this year, the draft. I mean, a lot of good players, but not like there's not that generational talent that you're like, oh yeah, this team's going to get them, or, you're not going to have that. Yeah. But
that's fantasy.
Shout out to Sal. All right. See, who's that? Your sister saying that he knows his sports?
It does. It is my sister.
Look. Who's that, Heather?
Heather, yeah.
Yeah, Heather. Can I explain something to you?
Oh shoot!
All right, your boy, your big brother, little brother. What's going on?
Little brother.
Little brother. Your little brother doesn't really know a lot. He's just finally coming to grips to saying how we got it right. Okay, you need to go back to a few shows, and he's just talking some stuff.
Every dog has his day.
Thank God that we're on a podcast and we're not live. Okay, because Sal will be dug underneath he'll be dug underneath his house somewhere, and
every
you can't
dog
find
has
him.
his day.
All right, so Sal, hats off, Sal, hats off. You got it right. You see where this is going. You know what I mean? Come on, man. Come on. You
Until Howie messes up this year's draft, but
Yeah,
we'll get
Sal, Sal, where's my Howie socks I gave you for Christmas?
That's like long gone, man. That's
your dog ate, your dog chewed it up.
Man, that's been chewed, regurgitated. That's done. So, oh man, much like Kay Adams. Speaking of which, where is Kay? What is going on with her?
She'll be there today.
Girl?
I
don't know. Doing another Dick Sports commercial. I don't know.
Oh man,
Dick Sports, man. You guys gotta get your mind out.
I'm just saying, man. I didn't know where this was going. All I heard was the first word.
I know. Man,
that's another reason why we fired you as the commissioner of our fantasy league instead of in the second draft.
Oh man,
bullshit win, Sal.
Before this goes more downhill, if you like our show, check us out on Instagram.
Email Dre. Email Andre.
Yeah, this week we're going to email Dre. enoughsaidcrew@gmail.com. You might as well, there's an alias on there that says Dre@gmail.com. Right? So, yeah. We're on all the major social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, X, you name it, we got it. We're working on TikTok. We don't have it yet. We'll get it soon. If you like our show, make sure you subscribe, get an alert of when we'll be on, especially in the off season coming up. You're going to want to know when we're going to be on because it's going to be alternating weeks sometimes. So make sure you check us out. We appreciate everybody who's been on today, whether it's Lance, my sister, whether it's Hef, KD. If you haven't checked out the All Dressed Up podcast, you must do that as well every other Sunday night, 9:00, in addition to Hef Streams, which is recording just now in that Climb Back series. It's a great series. People who have been through a lot and come back and get a better life for themselves. So really cool stuff. Check that out too. We love all the guys who have helped us here grow throughout the year. And guys, let's do it. This is it today.
Let's sing it.
Yeah.
Get your popcorn ready.
Fly.
On
the road to victory.
Fight.
Eagles fight. Yeah.
Score a touchdown. 1, 2,
3. Come
hit
on,
them low, hit them high, and watch our Eagles fly. Fly, Eagles fly. On the road to victory. Come on.
EGLES.
Let's see what happens.
Get your popcorn, get your nachos, get your wings.
Get all. I'm on your coattail, baby. Let's go.
Get it. We got this.
All right, everybody. See you next week. We'll talk to you.
All right.